Very first clip is actually from the very end of May, but I wanted to include it just to share the experience with you guys. Me and my bestie Raya went to this like nature parkway area. It's also a golf course, so it was kind of scary because there were like golf balls flying everywhere, but we were gonna do yoga, but we ended up just drawing from observation, and she was nice enough to let me use her markers. You can see right there. She got them from TJ Maxx, and I was loving them. I did the water, and she did the evergreen trees behind me. I wasn't super happy with mine, so when I got home, or this might have been the next day, I topped it off with like these metallic markers I got from Target. This piece is inside of my Etcher sketchbook, and I was working on it in the last art video I did titled A Week of Artwork, so go watch that if you haven't watched it yet. And I just wanted to show you guys that I finished it. And this clip is from June 1st exactly, I remember. And coincidentally, it was when Milwaukee Urban Sketchers met up. So this day was raining, so we ended up inside of Collectivo. Well, one of the Collectivos, there's a bunch of them, which is a coffee shop. And they had outdoor seating, which was like partially covered. So we got to sit outside and kind of like watch the rain.
An unusual request, but I'm flexible.
How different everybody's work is. Each week it's awesome.
Yeah.
I can take a picture.
Hey, work it with a W-E-R-K.
It's pretty much what I left that meetup with, like a rough sketch. I did this with Caran d'Ache water-soluble pastel crayons. I think they're like the Neocolor 2s. And then a couple days later I decided to get working on this. So I'm just like putting water over top what I had sketched down. Right now I'm working on the floor. And I put water over pretty much everything I had done that day. So yeah, that's what I was left with. Come back to it later because I can't work on one thing for too long or I get bored. Oh, cuddled up. We sleep like this every night and even during nap time. So this piece is made with pastels, hard pastels, soft pastels, and pastel pencils, but I left it inside of my windowsill. I have like box windows, and I left it inside of there. I don't know why, but it got these really cool water stains on it, which really adds to the piece, and now I'm in love with it after it sat for like 2 to 3 months inside my window. I had just added those like swirls and orbs, so that's pretty new. Working on that clay cow you just saw. I use Crayola air dry clay, nothing too fancy, but it does the job and I like it, and it comes in a really big tub. And yeah, so then here's the cow done. It's a magnet, a fridge magnet, or wherever you want to stick it. You got anything metal? Stick it. Well, I don't know if it's metal that it sticks to anything magnetic though. I don't know. I'm not a magnet expert, but maybe I should be because I make a lot of magnets right now. And then here I am just painting over more of these little creations I've made. I made some stars to be like wall hangers, like this little sad crying star. I think he's so cute. His eyes are very 3D. Oh, and I made a Pop-Tart. That's what the orange thing is. Has a little frosting on it. And then I made bacon and a steak. These are all magnets. And then I made this. It kind of looks like a road going off into the distance, so it wasn't intentional. It was like a happy accident. So yeah. I have this little pig who has like giant eyeballs and these tiny little leaves and a glittery star. This is actually a pin that I made like to be on a shirt or a bag, or like put it on your car ceiling like me. I have a ton of pins on my car ceiling. So it's like regular crafter's paint. I didn't use anything fancy. I love you, baby.
You like that, Sadie? You so happy up there?
That's a Georgia O'Keeffe book that my lovely mother got for me because she's an angel and she got it offline. We went to go see the Georgia O'Keeffe art exhibit together. Also have a video about that, so go check that out too. So yeah, my mom's just so nice and always thinking about me, and that's what love is. So this is a really tiny sketchbook she gave me. Again, working with the Caran d'Ache water soluble pastel things, and I made a little butterfly. For a while I was going with this theme where I wanted everything to be like something that like moves or like opens with like the seam of the book, but I kind of abandoned that eventually because ran out of ideas. And lately I've been wanting to sketch from observation more in my own time, so I actually went on a walk around my own neighborhood and I saw these cute houses, so I just sat down and drew them. Again with the Caran d'Ache water soluble pastel crayons, Zenio colors. And yeah, so I did that on the walk, just like, you know, the crayon part, the drawing. Then I added water at a later date. Here's what it looks like all finished. Very, very messy, but you gotta trust the process. With the Caran d'Ache crayons and outlined with micron markers or pens or whatever, white Posca marker, some metallic green markers, a pink metallic marker I got from the dollar store, I think a brown metallic marker as well, maybe, oh, and a gold, all from the dollar store, except the green one, that was kind of expensive, I got from Target. And then here's another day. I'm with my bestie again. None of this is filmed or posted in here chronologically at all. Even reels, I get so bored so quick. I watch like art shit lately, period.
But that's something you're interested in, so it's different. It's not just like consuming any media that's coming on your page. It's like being intentional about
Oh yeah, I mean I'm on YouTube. Oh. That's fucked up.
No, I need to figure
We have to lather each other in maple syrup. It's for the bugs. I need water. And of course the butterflies were following me around because they love me.
like a KOA or like a cute little campground that's like they have a pool, they have mini golf, they have like movie nights, like they have a bunch of to do.
Okay. Now here I am. I'm at my mom's house working on this piece that I started forever ago. I'm using gouache. I'm actually using the like, I don't know how you pronounce it. If it's hemi, he, but it's from Amazon. It's a gouache, a watercolor gouache palette, and I love it. It was not that expensive, and it works very well. At least I think so. I have only recently started using gouache, so. This is actually like one of the first times I'm properly like trying out gouache, so a lot of the colors I'm just using like as they are, which now I like to mix everything together, but this initial drawing was of an Arby's that me and my mom drew from observation, and then I decided I don't like Arby's anymore because they got rid of their fish sandwich, so then I decided to paint the Arby's on fire, because I was upset because they don't have the fish sandwich anymore. So that's not a threat. For the record, by the way. I was just sad, like, bring it back. A time lapse where I started drawing out this bird. It's one of the few time lapses I have that you see me start from like, you know, bare bones drawing all the way to finished painting. And I actually love how this came out. It's also one of the few pieces in here that I finished in one sitting, probably because it's a very tiny sketchbook, so I need to do that more often. I love that yellow bird. And the yellow bird was inspired from real life because I've been seeing a ton of, I think they're called golden finches around, and I just love seeing them. They're so beautiful. It is an unfinished pastel piece that I actually started in a class that my mom and I took together at MyAd. And she has a ton of my unfinished artwork because she's awesome and she helps me keep track of that stuff, because if it was me, I probably would have trashed it. So I was at her house one day, found that, and decided to add a background and some more shadows, and I still don't love it, but that's okay. It's not framed yet, so. Just something I saw at a garage sale that I thought was really funny and pretty inspirational and iconic, so I took a video. You can hear the construction, the scary construction noise in the background, which I just had to include so that you guys know what I have been going through for the past, I don't know, it feels like a year. Probably about a year. I don't know. For a while there it was constant, but in this video I'm working on a tattoo for one of my nieces. She wanted a sword tattoo and she really likes my dot work. I did another dot work tattoo on her when I very first started tattooing. And she's just always been very supportive of me, and I love her for that. Sheila? Oh, I forgot to mention, she has a baby. She has a little baby, so we ended up tattooing her, on the ground, sort of, because the baby needed to, have a space to, lay out and everything. And I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of more comfortable than me tattooing her on the tattoo bed with my rolly chair, how I normally do. So yeah, I put a yoga mat down so that it wasn't so the baby had a clean place to lay and everything, and I wiped it down. Here it kind of looks like I did all this in one day. I did this whole tattoo. Lies. That's a lie. I did the first, where you saw just the outline. I did that first, and then we waited 2 weeks and then came back and finished the tattoo because I cannot sit for long periods of time because my bones hurt and I have a lot of health issues, so. But I mean, the tattoo got finished and it looks cool, so who cares? You just gotta be patient. That's what I love about my niece. She's very patient. Lupa, come here. Come here. Oh, you're so handsome. You're so handsome, everybody knows. Mr. Sopa, most handsome cat on the block, in the state, in the country. Yeah, he's the most handsome kitty cat. My baby. You like the ears? Well, I was at my mom's. We did some other stuff this day. I think we went to Dollar Tree and we did something else, but we ended up in her backyard, and I'm using the Tombow brush pens, and I decided to draw from observation again. So at this time there was some fencing in the backyard, and I drew that along with some of the clutter that they had behind it. There's there's a pool for the dogs and some other things. Oh, and I drew the pretty hanging lawn adornments or ornaments. You know what I'm trying to say.
What?
I said, well, I don't own it, but now it's my fence.
It's the fence you do, so it's yours.
True. I'm just doing it scribbling.
Looks fine.
What should I put behind? Should I draw the...
All the junk?
Yeah.
The kayaks?
I was kind of thinking about it.
You could.
Bow brush markers. And look how cute. Look at the details. Check them out. Even did a little diary entry. And look at my hands. He said it's work time. You tried to chew on my Crocs. My baby. Oh. My sweetie. Okay, and then here I am. I just freehand drew these leaves and put some tracing paper over top and started doing some dot work because I wanted to start making dot work flash to just have put up on my wall so that people can pick out, you know, oh, I love this. I would love it tattooed, you know, like straight from the wall. That's the goal. Plus, I want to do like smaller things too, so that I'm able to like finish a tattoo in a day. Harlot's watching the sunset. She is. Okay, and then here I am working on this painting I drew of my cat named Elmer. He's a butterfly in this painting. And yeah, I think I had actually had this all the watercolor done for quite a while, but I had just been procrastinating on doing the lines. I'm using a micron pen to outline all this. It's like a felt tip, I think. And then here it is finished. I added some metallic markers per usual from the Dollar Tree because I'm obsessed. And white Posca marker for the highlights, and I love it. This took me a really long time to finish because honestly with all these, don't assume that, oh, I did this in a day or I did this in a week. Nah, I like forget about things and then come back to them weeks later or a month later. So Lakefront Festival of the Arts. It's like a once a year thing and it was awesome. They had a lot of like activities for kids to do, so that's what you'll see here. The first like red clay things they had us make with model magic, which I'd never used before, and it is so fun and foamy. They also had like acrylic painting you could do, at least I assume that's what kind of paint it is, for all the kids to do. And my tiniest niece, that's who I'm here with, my tiniest niece and my mom, and she was like, I'm gonna make a flag, I'm gonna paint a flag. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna paint a flag too. So that's what we did. And you'll see there, I like cut into clips of what I drew after this weekend because it's very much inspired by what we did together. He said, damn, let me get some. Look at his little antennas. Look at them moving around. Look at him glowing for the camera. I hope his eyes aren't sensitive. Here we are holding some lightning bugs.
David, you got matching
Glow bugs.
What are they really called?
Lightning bugs.
Lightning
I don't know.
bugs?
They have all
Light
those
bugs.
sketchbook is just my way of like documenting the time that we shared because it was just like such a special weekend. I had so much fun and it was just magical. We got donuts from Krispy Kreme. They're glistening. And if you're wondering why there's a dead chipmunk, ask my mother, because apparently the chipmunk was like eating her tulips or something, so they put little rat traps out. And me and my tiniest niece, we got home from the art festival. We're first ones by the door and we see that, a corpse. Yeah, chipmunk corpse. How traumatizing. But that's okay. And then the helicopter thing was like this little candy thing that I bought for her from the gas station, which I thought was pretty cool. I also didn't finish that sketchbook layout, that sketchbook page. I didn't finish it yet, so you'll have to watch my next video if you want to see what it looks like in the end. This is something I was continuing to work on. I started this in the month of June, but I started it when we were on the way home from our bus trip to Chicago to the Chicago Museum of Art. I also have a video about that, so you better go watch it. And yeah, I did this using watercolor pencils initially, and now I'm just going over it with water. I added lining with micron pens, and I did add some of the Caran d'Ache crayons, the water-soluble ones, but I mostly just used yellow because that's what this needed, was yellow.
I love that you're doing a job right now that like you're passionate about.
Flower in a cup, cup of flowers. Flower in a cup, cup of flowers, singular. Just one cup, one flower. One cup, one flower. Here is a finished sketch. I really want to get better at drawing people. Initially, I was kind of drawing these from observation. When I used to be able to work at the club, I drew some of the customers there. So, two mediocre tippers.
You're so cute. Day trips, art lover, history lover.
And then there's my beautiful mom.
Downtown.
This day we were out in Racine. I think this is actually our first trip to Racine. We've taken a lot. And we sat at this beautiful restaurant. We've taken a bunch of like day trips to Racine, and eventually I'm gonna make a video called like road trips to Racine and like put all of them together.
They have classes.
And then here I am in the tiny sketchbook again that my mom gave to me. She did a couple pages in the sketchbook, and then she just gave it to me because she's so awesome and nice. And I've really been liking it. It's so much easier to like finish a page when it's tiny. Of course, because it's just less space to cover. Initially, this was going to be a rug with a cat on it, and then I realized that it looked like a mouth opening. This is the first page in the sketchbook also, which like, whoa, I love how that came out. Usually the first page for me ends up being kind of weird, so I really like this. I know it has too many teeth, so dentists, leave me alone.
It's only one.
And then the mouth one I didn't finish in one sitting. I came back to it a couple times. But here we have something I did finish in one sitting. This was like kind of late at night. And by late, I mean probably 9 p.m. And I started using oil pastels. This is like, I think my first time ever using them. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I got these from my mom. I took them home from her art studio. They're called Sennelier. I don't know, but I just did some squiggles and then I was like, dang, this should be a mountain. And then it was a mountain with a little sunset or sunrise in the background. You decide. And of course, there's a little path. I tend to make a lot of little paths now that I'm reflecting on all the art I made in June. I don't know, I like it. It's like I want to go on there. I'd explore. I'd see what's going on. I don't know. And yeah, here I am doing yoga, part 1 million. I just kind of have these in here as space filler between the art so you can see what else I was doing during the month of June. There are a lot more like trips outside, but I didn't want to make this video an hour long, so I could only include some of these things. And then here I'm working with oil paint. It's water-soluble oil paint on this like kind of long rectangular canvas. And yeah, I started making a stage and some seats. And yeah, this is still not finished. It's hung up on my wall in that state, so. The moon's a toenail tonight, you guys. Yeah. That's Kat's toenail. This is something I made at my mom's house in one sitting. I'm very proud of that. I love when I'm able to finish something in one sitting. I made this with regular soft pastels. I think maybe hard pastels too. And yeah, it's just a little window looking into somebody's room. And I even framed it and put it up on my personal gallery wall.
They're growing great.
Where's a little girl? Not too far.
Oh, this is another thing that I finished in one sitting. Yeah, it's a flex. But this was made with oil pastels. Yeah, oil pastels. And yeah, they're just blue flowers. Pretty cool. Framed too, hung up on my wall.
Nice.
And then this is from a day I went to a park by myself and I did yoga. And I worked on a page in my sketchbook as well. Watch a raccoon pop out. It's really leafy back there. This is supposed to be a bar table. And then I made this like whale looking fish thing. Initially it was just going to be a fish. I drew it while in the car on the way to Racine, or maybe on the way home, I don't remember, but I was not a fan, so I ended up going over it with the Caran d'Ache crayons, and now I love it. I added a bunch more fish too, so that helps. And then this day, I went to the library with my mom and my littlest niece, and my littlest niece's friend. That was very special. She was awesome. And me and my mom were working on art. I decided to work on this mountain range that I had started literally like last October, and am finally coming back to it. I made this with watercolor, but now I'm going over top of it with watercolor pencils and just adding more depth. So I worked on that. My mom worked on some things in her sketchbook. This little bunny on a swing is what she was working on. It was made with Sharpie, white paint marker, just a bunch of Sharpie, random pens, gel pens. I just wanted to do like a conglomerate of things, and I kind of just was left in my art folder untouched for a while, but I added some Caran d'Ache water soluble crayons over top, and now I love it, and it's so beautiful and framed and spooky looking. Hee hee. Okay, so that was a glimpse of what inspired me or what I created during the month of June. There is more, but again, I couldn't make this video 1 hour long, so you'll just have to go watch my next video, and in order to do that, you probably need to subscribe. So, yeah, bye! And we got this snowball. Honey girl, say hello. Say hello. Hi.